I had always wanted the little safari theme.
It's the nursery Alicia Hessel dreamed about for the baby she desperately wanted.
So I had all the little baby animals.
Earlier this year, that dream became a reality. The couple was pregnant.
And we're excited to have a baby girl. Somebody wanted a boy.
But if you want to see that dream nursery today, you have to wear a hazmat suit, gloves, and a gas mask. It turns out the Hessels' new home used to contain a meth lab so contaminated, the Hessels won't step foot in it.
It's just very upsetting. It was our first house.
The couple had no idea about the invisible danger inside.
And then there's French doors.
Then a routine prenatal doctor's appointment blew up their life.
When they did my urine and blood work, they did find amphetamines in my system. I did not have a way to explain that because we're not around any type of drugs.
Fearful of the health of their unborn baby girl, they began researching and talking to neighbors. They quickly found their address listed on the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office meth lab seizures database.
In the year that you lived here, did you ever have headaches or feel any weird symptoms?
I've had a lot of headaches.
Our cats had seizures.
Desperate to make their home safe again, the Hessels hired Tom Alford, a certified indoor environmental consultant who has tested hundreds of meth properties. He found the home was contaminated with meth residue, and the levels were high.
It's a finer vapor, so it just kind of bleeds through and bleeds through and bleeds through.
There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of confusion.
This house is going to need all the drywall, all the flooring, all the cabinets, all the vanities, all the insulation is going to need to be removed and replaced.
We're basically contaminating ourselves, every day that we're in there, especially for the baby, so I moved out right away.
Moms can go into preterm labor. They can have growth restriction of their babies.
Dr. Jeannie Kelly at Barnes Jewish Hospital has seen what meth exposure can do.
It also can cause a host of potential birth defects.
The I-Team discovered deputies seized meth from the home in 2013, long before the Hessels owned it. That meth was found 3 years after Jefferson County passed an ordinance to protect people against this very scenario. Jefferson County Undersheriff Tim Whitney explains.
It was very much needed. I mean, it's another tool to help our citizens. There's inhalation hazard, exposure hazards, particularly when you're talking about acids and things like that.
The ordinance states that when officers find meth-making materials at a home, they're required to test the property for contamination. If it tests positive, code enforcement condemns the home, and no one can live there until it's remediated. So they find small quantities of meth and some meth-making material. Why didn't the first responders test the property for meth?
To put it kind of a perspective, we were investigating about 300 meth labs a year. And so for them, this particular incident really wouldn't have raised a lot of red flags that manufacturing was actually happening there.
Could you ever imagine that 6 years later, the home would test positive and infect an unborn child?
Yeah, it's unbelievable and really pulls at the heartstrings.
That environmental consultant we spoke with says just smoking meth in a home is enough to contaminate it for years.
The longest span I've tested is 11 and a half years, and it was positive after remediation, after it was already cleared.
We know that it's very potent, can stay in there for a really long time.
Alicia's due in mid-January. The effect on their baby girl is still a mystery. Unfortunately, the Hessels aren't the only ones waiting to see if she's healthy.
That is the one specific thing that they did say when I was speaking to the doctor's office about it, was that they would test me at labor again.
If she was still positive, then DFS would get involved, and we don't want that.
They want the life they planned, the dream home, the nursery, a healthy baby.
I mean, I'm glad through the roundabout way that we found out, because I would not want my baby here, because we could have a child here getting sick and not know why.